Hey guys, Zane from the Infinite Jukebox here with another quick album review, and today I wanted to talk about the new Foo Fighters record, but here we are. Even if you're only mildly aware of the Foo Fighters or only mildly aware of even Dave Grohl, I'm sure that you are well aware that the Foo Fighters have been through quite a lot as a band over the course of the past year and a half or so. 2022 saw the devastating loss of longtime drummer Taylor Hawkins, as well as the passing of frontman and founder Dave Grohl's mother. And as such, I think it should go without saying that the second that there was confirmation that the band would go on, with Dave Grohl picking up the drums in studio again for the first time in what feels like forever, that their next effort was going to be a deeply emotional one. But here we are is certainly the emotional outing that everyone expected, rightfully so, considering everything that the band have gone through at this point. But at the same time, the album also excels in a way that few other Foo Fighters albums ever have. In fact, it excels in a way that a lot of Foo Fighter albums could never even dream of. Of course, but here we are is just raw. It's just rich in emotional rawness in a way that is unfortunately often only able to be captured in the context of a major tragedy. I mean, there are times where this record feels like just as much of a healing experience for the Foo Fighters themselves as it does a tribute to all of the people important to them who are not with them today. The band plays perhaps more passionately than they have in decades on songs such as the title track, with the same uninhibited performance work and the same hugely perfectionist style of song structuring that has often defined their best moments as a group. While the Foo Fighters may have really been known from the start as a very melodic and thoughtful band in regards to how they structure their songs, but Here We Are is really on another level altogether. Songs like Rescued are extremely catchy in a way that really hasn't been seen from the band since their peak The Color and the Shape days in the 1990s. Meanwhile, you have other cuts like Beyond Me that take on a nearly power ballad-esque kind of nature that makes them incredibly easy to connect with on an emotional level, even if you're just a casual listener that doesn't really have the context of the full story behind the record. That isn't even to mention the great 10-minute long track The Teacher, a song that is representative of the progressive rock sounds that Dave Grohl was leaning towards for this record before the passing of Taylor Hawkins, as well as what is arguably the single most ambitious thing that the Foo Fighters have done to date. In fact, it's even arguable that this is the single most ambitious thing that Dave Grohl and Pat Smear have ever done to date, as long as you aren't talking about former bands that they were in. You know which ones I'm talking about. I know that everybody knows Nirvana, but also if you don't know who the Germs are, you're like a total nerd and you should really check them out. I digress. This entire record is just impressive in a way that, while I would not expect from the Foo Fighters, only really makes sense, generally speaking. I mean, again, there is a great deal of passion that has gone into this record that, unfortunately, is something that stems from a huge amount of tragedy. And while I don't love the fact that this is what had to become a thing, the fact that this had to be made because of the passing of two incredibly important people in the Foo Fighters family, if you will, I also think that it's downright beautiful at times, and that it may very well be the best album that the Foo Fighters have done to date. And that may be a bit of a controversial statement, considering they do have some legitimate classics under their belts, such as the aforementioned The Color and the Shape, but really, I think that this may be the single most solid album in their entire discography. Considering the Foo Fighters are one of the definitive examples of a band that are consistently good, yet rarely great, it feels weird to say that an album that I may personally consider to be the best Foo Fighters album is an album that they released in 2023. It feels weird. It feels very, very weird. But at the same time, But Here We Are manages to actually do something amazing. It manages to be a tribute to lost people that really had an amazing impact on the Foo Fighters as a band. And at the same time, it manages to be representative of what the next step for the Foo Fighters is. I mean, they themselves have confirmed that they're going to soldier on, but that they will never be the same band. And although this has similar sonic aesthetics to what they've done in the past, it has a level of emotional power behind it that we've arguably never seen from them before. I'm not saying that this band is inherently better or worse than the past Foo Fighters, if you will, but at the same time, I really do think that this does feel like at least a slightly different band that was obviously impacted by real-world tragic events. And as such, I remain both depressed and impressed for not only the band themselves, but also the content found within this record. It's great stuff, but really you kind of have to be able to stomach the context of it as well, which again is something that I never thought I'd be saying about a Foo Fighters record, but hey, here we are. I'm going to give this record 4 stars out of 5. And with that being said, that is the end of this quick album review. I have been Zane from the Infinite Jukebox. Thank you for watching. Rest in peace, Taylor Hawkins, and I will see you guys in the next one.